Got away from D'Ambrosio. Sicily, superb mark. Held his ground and held the footy largely with one hand. Here's Day, who's been brilliant. His 14th disposal to Warple, to a running Amon. Cuts a line and cuts another. Almost lost the ball to Newcomb. The Hollywood Hawks. Amon to finish. Goodness gracious! An extraordinary goal in round 0.
That overlap run that becomes so good, but the broken tackle, the step around, the give and get back, and this. He started that run at centre half back, just taking off, trusting that at some point the ball was going to get into his hands. That line of goal run that's so damaging.
Smith, bit of time and space. Cameron presents short. Kick goes over his head towards Brian Myers, who's got a couple of metres of separation. We know he's a terrific assist man, and that kick is going to go right to the goal line. And it's going to be a goal. What a start for the Cats and Brian Myers.
Ah, what a start. Brian Myers with one of the great finishes. Goal of the year contender in round 1, Tommy.
Absolutely, Brownie. He's probably one guy that we failed to mention who's such an important and integral part. His ability to be able to get up the ground and then so quickly get back to goal and be effective in front is Brian Myers' game.
Breaking the space, a little shimmy, then slipped Merritt. Hard running Saligo. Rankin just biding his time, waiting for the handball receive. Took a bounce. Tex wants it deep. Rankin wants to back himself, and he wants a highlight reel to match. Oh, no. He says, whatever you can do, Rochelle, I can do better.
And without breaking stride, you are kicking with no angle between the sticks.
He doesn't look like he's running hard. Look at him. He's just taking his time. He is on the boundary where the 50 intercepts the boundary and the 50-metre arc.
Give it a bit of space, give it a bit of room. It was not a bad miss.
It's amazing. Scores could be level at half-time with this big breeze. Day puts the speed on, ran a fishtail, asked his back, sends it long. Can he get the bounce? The magnificent Day on a beautiful Launceston night.
But then it took the right jump, took the right bounce, straight through the middle.
Yeah, it's been a dominant 10 minutes, hasn't it, by the Hawks? What a great turn of foot by Will Day. Late in the third, McInerney fends it down. Rayner to Berry, to Cameron, too quick for him. Next off the line was Zorko. Ashcroft has a good look. Oh, no! That is incredible! Simply brilliant. Simply Will Ashcroft.
Just want to make sure he does have a good look in the middle. I think he does. He does a couple of times. And the reason he can get away with that kick is because the square's open.
Hutto, what about how Jace went up about the dribble kick? He loved it.
What about that? That is the best.
I love the fact he had a look in the middle. And then you're entitled to do that. It's a tight angle and there's no one in the goal square.
End zone. Big long ball. Here is Bobby Hill. Bermuda triangle. Pocket! Broken play. He makes it work. You wouldn't read about it. That is ridiculous.
You could just see the energy he got from those couple of touches before. And from the Bermuda Triangle, you've got to pay your respects, and he certainly did.
He did indeed, but that is, well, that's a Bermuda goal.
Adelaide's biggest lead of the game right now. Good time to have it. Dawson, the captain. Captain, fantastic. Goes long to the fog. Not quite. Rankin! Wow!
There it is.
Add that to the Rankin file.
That Rankin, he'd been up through the middle of the ground. That tap from Riley O'Brien will go down as one of the... We should have a ruck tap of the year because that's as good as it gets. Fogarty drops the chest mark and then the magic man says, hey, you can have your Rosie and you can have your Butters. When it's on the line, I'm going to step up and just provide something special at the showdown.
Important sort of a kick. The speed of power will get there first. Pushed off the ball. Pick up from Chol. Steps back inside. Kicks. Oh!
Chol! They're still in it. That's Chol of the night. He's got 3.
And then Chol just had the audacity to come in one hand, fake a handball, and then just put it straight through the middle game. How cool was it?
You won't see better for the year. The one-handed pickup. Look at him scoop it up here. And then the fake handball, you're right, the missed tackle. There's 3 of him as he kicks it, and he slots it and he loves it. They're still alive, the Hawks.
Again, a penetrating type of ball. Redmond down, Taranto! Taranto! No way!
Well, this is as good as it gets. That defensive kick into the pocket and the crumb and the goal. I'm not sure how. I'm not sure he knows how. The ball drop was horrible, but it came off that little instep, the little left to right in the air.
It went one way and then the other. Had a bit of reverse on it.
Roberts pounds the ball inside. It cleared the pack. Gresham out the back door. Kept it alive with a little banana. Caddy over the shoulder. He's kicked the goal. Yes, we're in love game. Yes, we are. Caddy's kicked the goal. Scores are level. They are level. They were 32 down. And this man here has kicked it over his shoulder.
What is that, Hodgie?
I've lost it at these two. But he said, just as smart, as you said, Kane, he competes in the air, but then he doesn't sit and ball watch. He gets back onto it. Forwards who react first or normally get the goal.
Kane, he's mine. He's not yours. He's mine.
Well, Rewalt's claiming him as well. We all love him, but that's the best goal I've seen this year, I think. That's goal of the year so far.
Andrews won one off his own boot before for this team, remember? A scrap. A chance for Flanagan, the soccer! Oh, he's done it! The freak from Fish Creek, living up to his name.
He's been dynamic when they've needed him to after half-time. Not many players in the competition have got this freakish ability, have they? From outside on the right foot, it was a very narrow window. Right, we're sitting right behind it, Lynchy. Not a lot of daylight between those posts.
It was not. How good, what a finish. It's going to be about contested footy and clearance tonight, so they just need to bridge that gap a little bit. Here's a chance to get a bit of momentum.
Wind not as strong as it was, still a very difficult kick, but a highly skilled player. Josh Rochelle, you couldn't possibly kick it from there. Oh, how about that? A couple of times there's been some no calls, but that is as good as it gets on a night like this when your side needs it most. And is there a little bit of Eddie Betts? You can have that side, I'll have this pocket. Now Jackson, he can send them to the 50. Well knocked away by Daniel. Bolton with a pick-up with the one hand and then dancing his way through trouble. He always thinks the goals. He can put on a show, can Shea?
Incredible goal. It's huge. What a finish. And you're right. North Melbourne fans will be asking, was that holding the ball against Chiefs? Well, that's what started this whole passage of play. Is that just... I'll just go down with my right hand, pick it up, turn around and kick it. That works, Pat. Thank you.
You know, 3 times getting control. He's just bang. He clamps it. He's unbelievable. Johnson, sensational pair of hands. Sarong gets the advantage calls. Takes a bounce from the boundary. He lights it. Magnificent kick.
You trust your inside midfielder to win it. He takes on 2 opponents. They get sucked in. Sarong gets the outside, and just his 3rd goal for the year. I think that's the next evolution for him. If he can start doing that and impacting the scoreboard, look out.
But it might come unstuck. Stringer, unselfish. Into the centre he goes. It bobbles around. It comes back. Ralston, here's Green. He deserves it. He fakes one. He fakes 2. And he slides it home. That's the inspirational stuff from T. Green. And I'm not talking about the skipper.
Well done by Jake Stringer for centering it. Excellent play.
Little fumble there, but that was just a dummy goal too.
Heart rate up more. Has to finish and does.
No, We got the close one. This is an absolute cracker.
Couple of fingernails to get in and stop two certain goals.
Darcy, Marshall, out of the air, the volley, unbelievable! Rowan Marshall getting creative in the ruck.
Watch this. Darcy, Marshall, bang. We've had rugby league. Have we had any soccer here, boys? Because that is straight out of the top corner.
Australia were here. Yeah.
You're right. Look at this. The Socceroos did it in the 93rd minute. Well, this is in the second quarter.
No, that's not true.
Storming through is Watson, takes a bounce. Lays it off by hand, thought he'd go alone for a moment. He might get it back, still might get it, Watson. What a goal this should be! The Wizard doing wizardry. So they can play their role, take a risk and get forward of the football, and then you do not come back. He set that up really well, Howie. That was always a 1-2. Could afford a fumble. Great finish.
Yeah, he just left George Wardlaw in his wake. He just snuck through the open space. Quick handball and the receive. No pressure whatsoever. Yeah, worth the finger, worth the celebration. That is one of the great goals for the Hawks for the year.
So the last kick of the first term. It's going to take Mark Picknett's very, very best from 56 or 7. He kicks it pretty well. It's got plenty of distance. It travels from nowhere, from downtown. The kick of his life. The Blues fans sensed it mid-journey. It kept rolling and scrapping into the air.
There's no doubt it's had a huge influence on their run, the Gold Coast Suns.
Brilliant clearance from Anderson again. He set up the last one. He'll get it back here. What a footballer! Noah Anderson.
Just watch this starting position. So that's usually a sweeper spot. You don't leave that post. Game on the line. No, we'll set play through. Give, get, finish. Captain's goal. Thank you very much. That is as crisp as it gets when you're working a set play. He's been huge, Richo.
Big last quarter. 6 disposals. Couple of clearances and a goal now. Noah Anderson, that's his 30th for the game.
He sends it to half forward. Bailey Williams in front. Defenders overcommitted, so he can chip it over the top. It was just out of the fingertips of Ryan. Bounce important and went over the head. The perfect bounce if you're Liam Ryan. He got the ball to work, some magic. It just pitched up to perfection.
It was just out of his reach, wasn't it? And then what about this for a goal? Bang. Oh, it does him. That's an incredible finish from Liam Ryan. We know what he's capable of. The spectacular in the air and at ground level. Have a look at this.
We see that down the road at the Wacker, boys. That's in a crack. Look at that.
Boys, that's goal of the year, isn't it? What's been better than that this year?
Everybody takes a breath. There was barely time to take a breath in the opening half. Briggs and Grundy tie up, play on advantage. Callahan's out the front of the stoppage. Had a bounce. Put the Jets on. Says Dane Rampy, I've got you covered and might go all the way home. How's the wow factor of that from the flying Finn? Finn Callahan.
Having a bounce, and this is the stuff we talked about, off half-back and scoring. As you said, he's usually involved, but at high speed, taking the bounce, the arrogance. The arrogance to run away from his opponent and the class to finish. He's a superstar.
Jackson's gone deep forward. Murphy Reid
sends it long for that Jackson leap. Aaliyah got a hand on it. Murphy Reid. He couldn't, could he? Of course he can. There's nothing this kid can't do.
You can see him just to the right of screen. That is a very difficult kick. Very difficult.
He's composed too, isn't he? There is not one sense of rushed motion in that kick.
He didn't have any bend in it at all.
Wilmot prods it to the square.
Morris got free.
Can't bring the mark down, though. Bailey has another shot for goal.
Oh,
the
no.
hardest of them all. That is the skill. That is the brilliance of Zach Bailey and the Brisbane Lions.
Goals have all of a sudden been so hard to come by, and it needed some magic. And there's probably no one out on the ground that's got more capability of doing that. That's just instinct.
Oh, it's a little bit of cork in the ocean, Gaz.
Good evening, Dennis. Have a look at that.
That's just goal sense.
To Sheasel, out to Simpkin. Gets back on his right side, kicks for full forward, Tremba flying, not to be. Curtis still alive in the pocket.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. That is spellbinding. Wow. When was the last time the Kangas had a quarter like this? They've kicked 7 in the term and there's 6+ minutes to run.
Oh, that's brilliant play. This guy has the potential to be the best player at the club.
Yeah.
He just,
If he's not already, I mean,
he just sees the game
close-ish.
differently. He sees different things. That's unbelievable skill.
The best sport in the world. 2 teams playing for a spot in the big dance, and there is one straight kick separating them. Make it maybe more than that. That's the best thing you've ever seen. Will Ashcroft produces a miracle. Brilliant, sublime, superb.
Oh, have a look at this. Will Ashcroft on the run. Just found a little minute space. Banged it on the boot. Inspires his team. They kick their 6th goal of the quarter. And they're now 2-goal leaders over the Magpies.
And Messi tips his hat.